Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. We made it to another week. Made it through another week. Hopefully you're doing okay. Let me see if I can get everything set up here today. I keep trying to move things around to make it more efficient to work better, which always means it creates more problems. Well, first thing first. Welcome to the Break the Cycle with DSD podcast. I am your host. I am not a therapist. I'm an individual much like you who has gone through a difficult situation. And over the it's coming up on 10 years, on nearly the decade of dealing with this post-divorce or post-separation, I developed some tips and techniques that work to save my sanity that I share with you to help you do the same. Help you break the cycle of emotional abuse. And if you have children, to repair, strengthen the relationship with them, just try to get everything back on track. One thing I always like to say is only a licensed professional can diagnose a person with a personality disorder. So be very careful going around diagnosing your ex with certain issues and stuff, because it inevitably will hurt your credibility and make things worse. Let them implode on themselves, and we don't need to stand in their way to make that happen. The other thing is, if you would like to get the SMS text notification, which, oh my God, did that go out today? Did I screw that up again? Holy heck. Holy how, cow? Holy how? Let me check that for a second. Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. No, it went out. Okay, I guess I just didn't see it. I was kind of worried there for a moment. Anyways, backtracking, if you want to get that text notification like I did this morning, you can text DSD Live to 844-598-0012, 844-598-0012 to get on that notification list. I think I hid this other slide, so let me do this. If the phone lines will be open today, so if you want to, let me unskip this slide and put it back. And if you want to dial in, you can dial in at 1-424-373-5483, 1-424 DSD Hopefully you guys are doing pretty good today. I think if that's correct, that's the last of the normal setup. Man, what a week. This has been a whirlwind. 2 interviews, all kinds of stuff going on. Crazy stuff going on in the background, some cool stuff, some not so cool stuff, but all of it's interesting. I wanted to hit a couple of topics today, and but before I do that, let's all take a moment and enjoy a nice hot cup of coffee, or at least a sip. That would be the first sip of the day. So I'm running a little behind on things. A little quick note to Debbie. It would be the note for channel members, and just below the main title, above everything. Anyways, I got people from all over today. We got Canada, greetings from the UK, and let's see. I see people. Yeah, looking through let me just double check the comments. We got. Hold on, let me flip this. No, this is supposed to work. Shane says, good morning, all. Joseph says, good morning. Whatever. I'm so bad with names. Good morning. Carrie Turner, morning. Alone parent. IRI folks. iTumblers, morning. Macan Mech D, hello to you. Oh, I love this. iTumblr says, I love DSD is doing collabs, but the normal podcasts are the best. Yeah, it's funny you mention that, because I have been contemplating and trying to decide how to do that. I don't really want to turn this into an interview show, because I really do enjoy these these solo things, because it gives us more of a time to kind of just free form. I did want to say the other day, just so you guys know, that once this stuff starts going and the comments are coming in, it's really tough, even with moderator Debbie sending me questions, to try to figure out what is going, what's a good comment for the conversation. And what inevitably happens is if I start reading through stuff, whoever's on the show, I have a hard time hearing what they're saying and doing. Saying and doing, or just saying. I even found that a couple times yesterday where I was so focused on trying to read that I wasn't really sure what the other guy was saying. And that's when I just kind of said, you know what, to make sure that the questions are good and I'm not just throwing stuff out there and there's not a back and forth. That's why I just couldn't keep up with that. I think as things progress and I get a little bit better at it, then that'll probably self-correct, but it's just going to take some time to get into that. The first thing I want to bring up is how we get stuck in patterns, right? We often talk about focus on the X's, patterns of behaviors, but we also have our own patterns of behavior. And I had an interesting example that I've recognized in the last couple of months just from switching this show around. And this is from having 4 years or a little over 4 years now of doing the channel and having a routine that I normally would do, which would be I would, throughout the day, I'd take a break, I'd record a video, then I would try to find time, in another break to edit it, upload it. So I was constantly in this mode. It was actually almost like a panic mode to where I was constantly thinking, oh, I got to record another video. I got to find a comment. I got to find a topic. And it was just this really stressful thing. Not a lot of fun. So 2 months ago, maybe a little over 2 months ago now, when I switched up the format, I switched to this morning thing. And part of the reason for that was I knew that once I get back to work and have to physically go in, that my day gets severely compressed. And because of the change in custody, for anyone who doesn't, well, let me just clarify this. It's still 50-50, but we agreed outside of court to go week on, week off, which has been outstanding, right? So that's kind of opened up a whole another routine for me. So that's why I started doing these morning shows. But what I found up until recently, and sometimes I still have to struggle with this, is that I will be sitting in the middle of the day going, oh crap, I'll have that fear that I need to do something with the channel, only to realize, oh no, wait a minute, I already did it. I did my morning show, the podcast is out, the show notes are up, and everything is, effectively, if I get bombarded by work, I don't have to be concerned about having or worrying about that. But think about that for a moment. I'm talking about something that's relatively, it's all good, right? There's nothing negative in what I was just talking about. And the few years of pattern that I created for the first part of this show, I've been struggling to like reprogram my brain that no, that's okay. I don't have to worry about that. Now I have time to focus on my real job, or even if I'm off or I take the day off, now I have this whole day that's not even set up for anything. Another thing, and I was talking to Debbie about this, like talking about the interviews, and guys, we'll get in. I hope this is tying into, bear with me, this is going to tie into how this pertains to you. But the other little thing I just want to say is, in the past when I would do an interview, I would have to take time off of work, schedule a time, and inevitably, and this would happen a lot, this was very frustrating in the last 3 years, I would have somebody who would set everything up. All right, we're going to do it at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday or, whatever. And I take the day off. I clear everything out of my schedule. I'm sitting in mission control. I'm ready to go. 10 o'clock rolls around. Nobody's here. 10:15, I'm texting the person, nothing. 10:45, oh, I was busy. We're going to have to reschedule. And I'm like, I just burned a whole freaking day of leave. I had everything surrounded around that, and it was really frustrating, right? That's another reason why I stopped doing things. But now are doing interviews and doing certain type of collabs because people would flake on me. And I was thinking about it. Right, like even yesterday, let's say, I'm not worried about Leslie flaking on me, but the guy yesterday, I hadn't really had much of an interaction with him, a little bit, but I didn't know. And I was thinking about it before the show started. I'm like, if the guy flakes on me, it's not a big deal because it's a Thursday. I'll just do a normal show. Won't have the guest. Not a big deal. And I was thinking about that. I mean, that really kind of changes the paradigm, and for me doing stuff, right? So I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not wrapped up in the old way of thinking. My point on this is take all the stuff I just mentioned, which is all basically really good stuff. And granted, okay, maybe partly it's because, I'm starting to get older, so my brain isn't as my neuroplasticity isn't what it used to be. But it's taken me time to kind of morph into this new process. Even whenever I'm trying to do it, I'm pushing it. So you take that, and then you take, a decade or 2 decades, or hell, even a 4-year marriage relationship that explodes. You got used to those patterns. You got used to that routine. You got used to those fundamental feelings that you were going through. It gets to become comfortable, and you expect it. And then when it's not there, it makes you feel weird. This is why you can get out of a toxic relationship and still have these weird problems to where you're like, wait a minute, I should be doing great. Everything is doing freaking fantastic. And here I am struggling and thinking about things and like bringing extra drama into my life for absolutely no reason. Well, there is a reason. We all have to process our past patterns, our own personal patterns of behavior, to move into a new method of doing things. And it takes time. I mean, think about it. I've been doing this going back to the first example, I've been doing this show I've been doing the channel for 4 years. I've been doing this new show every day, Monday through Friday, for what? I think it's over 2 months now. I missed one day. I think one day I wasn't feeling well, or one day, no, I had computer problems. This last week I've been sick, and I'm starting to feel better. But I've been basically like, okay, I can like get myself geared up, knock the show out, and then I would just, basically crash. Even with that, it's still taking me time to get to the new thing. So my point is if you're dealing with this and you're feeling like you're not getting the progress that you would hope, it takes time. Go easy on yourself. You don't deserve to beat yourself up more than you already have been beat up dealing with this. Understand that it takes time to modify things and change. And that's okay. It's not fun. We should be able to go, I'm going to do something new. I'm going to be healthy with my life, and I'm going to just go 900 miles an hour this way, and it will be outstanding. And I think in a lot of ways it will, but just know that we are going to be, in a lot of ways, our own worst enemies on this. Now, I do have another topic, but it looks like I have a caller. It says, hey, return caller asking questions about 12-year-old daughter, area code. Actually, I have two. I have two. So let me go with the first one, area code 425. Hello and welcome to the show.
Yes, hello, Duane. I want to start off. Thank you for sharing how you're doing. That was always thoughts in my head, wondering how you are doing with this morning show. And because I love it so much, and I'm so happy to hear that it is working out well for you. That is good to hear.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yes. I want to ask a question. Yesterday on your show, you had mentioned it's important to get in the time, get in some time with your child.
Yes.
My question is, wouldn't that be selfish of me to be fighting for this time because my child, she's 12, she's very smart, and her dad does not hurt her. And he has family. He's got his wife. They've been together for 6 years, and they have 2 kids, and she loves it over at her dad's, and she just never wants to come home. So wouldn't that be selfish of me to go to court and be fighting for her?
No, both parents are important in a child's life. So I mean, if you're not seeing your kid at all, then no, it's not selfish. I mean, if
want to send me,
say that again.
She does not want to see me.
How old is your child?
She is 12.
I mean,
she just wants to talk to me on the telephone.
She just wants to talk to you on the telephone, or she doesn't even want to do that?
Yeah, but she just wants to talk to me on the telephone.
No, you need to force. No, because that's. I mean, look here, and we talked about this a lot. I mean, I have on the channel. When a kid is with another parent and they're basically being programmed that they don't want to see the other person, that's manipulation and that's parental alienation. And
right, but then I go to court. I go to court. I get my time back with her, and now I have taken her away from the people she loves so much. I can't.
Well, you're not, but okay, but let me ask you this: you're not wanting full custody to move across the country, right? All you want to do is just be able to see her for a little bit of time, even if it's just for
50. That's what we had. We had 50.
No, you need to go back to court. It's not. No, look, hold on a second. Let me stop you there. At 12 years old, that's not. I mean, if she was 19, I mean, if she was 17. Whatever, and you were almost done, I would say, you know what? It's like you're going to spend a lot of money for nothing because as soon as she's 18, you're not going to be able to do anything anyways. However, 12 years old is young. You need to be a part of your child's life. If she's no matter what is happening, I mean, the dad is obviously perpetuating this because a non-alienating parent is going to want the other one to be involved. Your ex is playing a game and manipulating your child. The only way to stop that is to go to court and have I mean, even if they've reduced the time, I mean, you want basically say, look, the court order says 50-50, COVID happened, all this crap happened, and now we're dealing with a situation where now all of a sudden my kid has decided that life is so much better here and I don't want to see mom. It's crap. You have to push it. And now if you go to court and they turn around and they say, you know what, you don't get, full custody with the dad and, telephone visitation is what it is. If that's ultimately what happens going to court, then okay, fine. You went to battle, you tried, it didn't work, and you just have to say okay, fine. But you're not there yet. So, and it's not selfish on you. For me to say to you that I think that you're being selfish, you would have to say, you know what? I don't want my daughter to ever see her father again. I don't care if we live in the same town, but I want full custody. And I'll get like to flip it. Well, then that's not right. But that's not the situation all you're looking for is physical one-on-one time with your daughter. There's nothing selfish for that for anybody who's listening to this who is maybe thinking the same thing. And right now, with the way it is, your ex is forcing you to have to go back to court to do it. He's using fear and intimidation and scare tactic to try to keep you out from doing it. And, I mean, I get it. I mean, these people are just freaking horrible in what they do. But no, you are not being selfish at all.
I thank you for that. Thank you. When I get my daughter home and she's sitting at home, arms crossed, angry because she has to be here, what's the best way to handle that?
Give her time to go through that and just basically, like, if this is where you need more time. If for instance, she comes over and she just does that and it's defiant, let's say you only have a couple hours and that's the kind of the situation, then let her sit there. Even if it's just that she is being defiant for the 2 hours and then you take her back or her dad comes to pick her up, do that. Just let her do it. Now, if you have like a weekend or something and she comes over and she's doing that, typically what happens is there's like a transition period. I call it a Groundhog Day effect, to where that they kind of go through that. And typically it'll get better. You're just going to have to basically keep going through this lather, rinse, and repeat until you start seeing improvements.
All right. Yes. Let her go through it. Don't be asking questions. Why are you acting this way?
Oh yeah, no, don't do that. No. Just let her come in. Be very, kind of like give her a pass on that, because see, the problem is if you start doing that, you're feeding into it and you're not helping, right? Because she's already defiant. She's got her guard up. Have you experienced this? Are you going through this now, or is this what you're worried about if she starts letting you see her again?
We were like the bestest of friends 7 months ago, and then just one incident had happened, and now she's completely convinced it's unsafe to be with me. I'm a school custodian. I brought her to work with me on April 1st, and her dad convinced her that, because I'm also a gross person, I guess. I will burp in loud in public. I'll shower once a day. I don't know. He has convinced her that I will get her killed during this. She is gross. Stay away. I have always told you this about your mom. She is disgusting. This is not safe for you to be with her. And
so the thing on that is, right.
On my weekends, she's been with my sister.
Okay.
She wants to go with my sister, who has a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they're doing a lot of things, and she gets to do things, and she's so happy.
No, you got to push this. You got to go back to court and push this to get the time, because that's the critical part on this. So just don't, you're not being selfish. Don't give up on that. And you're systematically I see some people saying, caller, they want you to devalue you as part of the process. I mean, this is part of the BS that they're trying to do. I mean, think about it. This is exactly what your ex is trying to do. He's trying to break you down, get you to feel like you're not worthy, and get you to basically go away. Don't do it, right? You're tearing yourself up. This is hard on your daughter. It is going to be hard on your daughter. There's no way around it. But no, you are not being selfish on that. So hopefully that was helpful.
One of our family rules, I need to remember a family rule. Remember you are loved.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just have to keep remembering that we've got these little family rules, and one of them is remember you are loved. So, I thank you, Duane, that that is exactly, he has successfully broken me down, and I feel defeated and worthless. But no, I need to I need to light up. I need to see the light. I thank you so much.
No, you're welcome on that. All right. Thanks for calling. Okay, guys, for people who are watching this, you probably noticed that my video just completely crashed. I am trying to fix that, and it is not working. So I guess we may just have to continue on with this without video, which is really, I've never had this happen before. Okay, so crap, I just tried to reset my box, and that did not work. So, that's a new one. All right, let me, I'm going to go just look at some of the comments, because there's some things that people were saying on this. Whoops, what did I hit? I hit a different button and it did something different. Okay. Wow, things are really doing weird stuff today. This is odd. It's always cool whenever your system decides to implode on itself. Anyways, but you know what? This is also a podcast, so I guess audio only doesn't matter. Jeez, what a mess. Joseph says, I finally got unsupervised visitation after my ex passed out in public and DHS took the kids. Now there's a false allegation from someone. All visitation and communication stopped for 30 days. Man, it is amazing how they just don't stop, right? You make some headway, and then someone tries something else. Joseph, I mean, just keep plugging along. When they have you jump through these flaming hoops, I know it's incredibly frustrating. Just don't give up on it and keep, it's like, all right, now what's the next thing they're going to make me do? It's weird though, right? These people really go through and try to break you down and just keep sending these attacks. And part of it is just controlling the narrative, right? It's like they think, okay, well, if I sling so much mud at somebody, one of two things is going to happen. One is either people are going to believe it, and then the person that they're throwing it at is going to lose, or that the person that they're throwing it out at, like both you and the last caller, that you'll just be like, okay, fine. You know what? I'm so emotionally drained and burnt out. I'm going to walk away just because I can't, right? I mean, so part of it is to try to get you to not to basically give up, to basically decide that it's just too much to do, and is that you just say, okay, I tapped them out. Guys, I was close to that. There were a few times where I got into that mode and was almost ready to do that. So, all right. Okay, so I had a caller and they dropped. So I just want to ask a question. Is the show still going? Can you guys actually hear me, or is this crashed completely? I'm trying to decide how to proceed. I'm not even getting anything from Debbie, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Very interesting. Huh. Trying to troubleshoot on the fly. Okay, John says the show is still going. All right, so no video of me, but the show's going and the audio is working. Well, that's at least something. Thank you very much, John, for that. I appreciate it. So at least I know. John does say, DSD, it got so bad for me, I went no contact with the ex and the kids because of the manipulation and lack of cooperation. The show is still going. Okay, cool. That is, I think sometimes we get into the mode where that's the appropriate response, that we don't have much of a choice because of what's going on. Hopefully sometimes we can persevere through it to the point where it, let's see, what am I trying to, no, I hit a button. Sorry. Persevere through it to where you can get past that and that particular moment in time, so to speak, and get like a refresh. Fortunately, that was my experience. Every time I got to the point where I felt that things were just too much, I was ready to give up. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Forget it. I just need to go I didn't know what no contact was, but I need to just say, F this, forget it. I'm done. I'm going to move on with my life. I'll go live under a box down, because I wouldn't even be able to afford a van down by the river. I would try to see if somebody would save me their old refrigerator box and I could move into that. That's kind of where I would get sometimes. And unfortunately, I would pause and I'd be able to take a break, get some rest. And then a few days later, I could get back on track. But what I will say is those were not good times. Those were very stressful, frustrating times, and I was not in a frame of mind during that to. What am I trying to say? It was really just a really tough time. I was just so beat down that it just didn't work. So anyways, all right, let me look at some. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I do have a caller in the queue. All right. I'll grab that here in a second. So don't hang up. Node Gurma says, DSD, I'm okay with no contact and she wants it as well. But it's all the other stipulations of the restraining order making it difficult. Police station transitions and all. Oh, and they go out of their way to make everything as complicated and difficult as possible. It's like things should be easy. You know, there's no reason for us to have to go through this crap show that we have to. So, I mean, they make it complicated. One, they like chaos. They like conflict. They need it for themselves to feel comfortable and stuff like that. But it's just to wear us down. And the problem is we don't enjoy it, but they do. So it wears us down, but at the same time, it empowers them. So I am going to try to go to this caller, 470. Said the auto screener failed, but it looks like it's a return caller. So I'm going to go to that now. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, DSD. It's iTumblers.
Hey, iTumblers. How you doing, man?
Good. I just listened to that other caller, and kind of funny because I thought about it yesterday as I was kind of going through my evidence I have to give to my lawyer because we're getting ready for the trial. But what I thought of was I could help with the previous caller is maybe she can request to the court place a motion for like reunification therapy since she's having difficulties with the relationship with the child, and have possibly, I mean, it's like I said a couple days ago, I think like 2 days ago, it's a risk